Welcome to Frame of Mind, a video series about mental health. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so we thought it would be interesting to talk about why mental health and well-being is so important to our agency and our team here. It's not something that we just think about during the month of May, but rather it's something that our teams think about every day of the week. We actually started our own digital health company to bring innovation to the space, and we even get to work with a clinical psychologist as a part of our team. So I'm joined by my good friend and colleague, Dr. Nathan Demers.
Thanks, Joe. As you know, I've taken a really non-traditional career path in the field of psychology, and the reason behind that is there's so much suffering that occurs before people get into my office. The reality is we know we lose 40,000 people every year in the US alone due to suicide, and that's the equivalent of a 737's worth of people dying every single day. And that's why I felt strongly, and I'm lucky enough to work side by side with you at Grit and Cactus every day to combine my clinical skills with your knowledge of changing culture and awareness. And I'd love you to share the story of Man Therapy, which kicked all this off.
Yeah, who would know that an ad guy and a psychologist would have that much in common and that much work to do together. But, you know, the story of Man Therapy is just incredible. It's the most important campaign that I or our team here at the agency have ever been a part of. We wanted to put our talents to work and have a positive, meaningful impact. And I can honestly say that when we were faced with this issue of suicide among working age men, I thought that we had met our match. Can an ad campaign, can a website possibly impact an issue as complex and as serious as someone taking their own life?
Clinicians like myself are bringing the science behind the app. Yeah. And then folks like you can make it appealing, fun, funny, and we can deliver it to the masses to change the culture around mental health.
We found that if you really wanted to get men to lean in, we needed to speak to them in a way that would resonate and that they would respond to. And, you know, by using humor, by casting a fictional therapist, really creating a culture around the campaign and language that they could relate to, where they felt like this is something that is approachable, is accessible to them.
In traditional confines of care, it's pretty boring. It doesn't meet men. They fall between the cracks. And it was truly the first thing that I ever saw that had a chance of engaging that man, that gritty guy who isn't going to go to therapy, which might feel soft or defeating in some ways.
Man Therapy is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. Over the years, I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, Man Therapy is a really cool campaign, but does it work? You know, its purpose was to reduce suicide among working age men, and is that happening? We do know through a 5-year CDC-sponsored research study of Man Therapy in the state of Michigan that it's highly effective at meeting its objectives. It helps reduce the stigma around men's mental health. It improves help-seeking behavior among men. In fact, about 40% of men who experience Man Therapy are more likely to access services. And then finally, it reduces suicidal ideation in men. So very clear evidence that it's doing its job. You know, we had an awesome time building this campaign. Everybody on our team really got excited about what we were doing, and this was a passion project of the agency. But our whole team came together from, you know, strategy, creative, production, digital, to really bring the tools of our trade, right? The level of professionalism and craft that we bring to all of our client brands. We knew that the character, Dr. Rich Mahogany, needed to carry the day. You know, he's part therapist, he's part football coach, he's part drinking buddy.
All that work in creating the persona of Dr. Rich Mahogany is what's made it successful. That's why he's the hardest working therapist in the world, with 1.5 million visitors to his site, and we've had over 450,000 men take our head inspection. The reason behind that, it's funny, it's engaging, it speaks to men. All of a sudden we have men sharing it with their peers, their coworkers, other family members, partly for the gag, which is great, but the other part is they're completing a validated mental health assessment, which means we're indeed delivering on our goals of decreasing stigma, raising awareness, and connecting men to the care that they need when they need it.
Not only has Man Therapy really disrupted the world of suicide prevention, it really has created ripples for us. In fact, it actually is the reason why we started a whole new company called Grit Digital Health to address behavioral health and bring the power of creative technology to that space. It's really exciting work, and I'm thrilled to be doing it with you.
Back at you, and without Man Therapy, we wouldn't be able to help the hundreds of thousands of people that we are each and every day at Grit Digital Health.
Yeah, lots to be grateful for with that little campaign. Here's to Man Therapy.
To Man Therapy. If we had a glass of scotch, that's what we'd be cheering.
Long live Man Therapy.
Right now.